Heroes of the Bible, Jonah. This is Jonah. Jonah was a prophet. That means it was his job to tell people what God told him to say.
Yep.
One day, God told Jonah to go to Nineveh because the people of Nineveh were doing bad things. But instead, Jonah ran away.
Where did you please?
And went to the port to board a ship going the other way. He was hoping to get away from God. He sailed for a place called Tarshish. While he was at sea, God sent a great and powerful wind over the sea that caused a storm that seemed like it would break the ship apart. Fearing for their lives, the sailors tried everything they could think of to save the ship. Meanwhile, Jonah was sound asleep. So the captain went down and said, "How can you sleep at a time like this? Get up and pray to your God. Maybe he will help us." Then the crew figured out that Jonah was the reason for the storm. And they asked him, "Who are you? Why is this happening to us?" Jonah told them who he was and that he worshipped the one true God who made the sea. Then he told the sailors to throw him in the sea so the storm would stop.
No, why?
The sailors still tried to escape the storm, but it was no use. So they asked God for forgiveness and threw Jonah into the sea. The storm stopped at once.
Whoa!
The sailors were amazed at God's power and they vowed to serve him. Now God sent a great fish to swallow Jonah.
Great.
And Jonah was inside the fish for 3 days and nights. Jonah prayed to God from inside the fish, and God ordered the fish to spit Jonah out.
Yuck.
God told Jonah again to go to the city of Nineveh to tell them what God had said about them.
I get it.
This time, Jonah obeyed God and went to Nineveh to deliver God's message. The people of Nineveh stopped doing bad things and turned to God. They were saved because they listened to the message that God had given Jonah.
Let's get back to the real world, where status...
Hello. Hope you're doing well today. The story of Jonah. That's one story that we were told was a literal story. So I'm going to put here. So, story of Jonah. Story of Jonah. Fact. Fact or fiction. So what do you think? Fact or fiction? The story of Jonah. So what do you think? Fact or fiction? The story of Jonah. Well, when we were taught this story, we were told that it was indeed a fact. That the stories of Jonah were indeed, the story of Jonah was indeed a fact. So let me pin this here. Yeah, that's here we go. What's happening to my camera? What's happening to my camera? I'm not sure. Don't like the look of... It's all connected. Everything's working okay. Should is showing clearly. Okay, 1 second, guys. I will not like the way this is looking. Hopefully this is better, but I will get started because and this is going to be really quick. Yeah, I think that looks better now. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay, story of Jonah. Let's deconstruct. Let's deconstruct the story of Jonah. Right, here we go. So the people who wrote the Bible, I think they must. Just 1 second, guys. 1 second. Right, the people who wrote the story, I think they thought that we were stupid. They thought that we had no brains and we couldn't think. We couldn't process things, that we were somehow dumb. But unfortunately, we are not dumb. We have brains and we can think and we can deconstruct these stories logically. We can look at them and work out that these stories probably didn't happen and they don't make sense. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Fact or fiction? The story of Jonah. Because Christians love to the stories that don't quite fit the narrative, the stories that are problematic. They will tell you that, oh, those stories are fiction. Oh, no, not fiction. There's the word they use. They say it's allegory, it's a metaphor. It shouldn't be taken literally. It should be, there's a context behind these stories. Oh, okay, I get you. There's always a context. Okay, so let us look at the stories in the context, the context that we're supposed to look at this story in. So, right. So, first things first. Now, we're going to look at Jonah, story of Jonah. 1 second, guys. My hands are so dry. Okay, so here. So Jonah flees from the Lord. What a wonderful thing to do. The word of the Lord came to Jonah, the son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come before me. This is God speaking. What exactly was the people of the city of Nineveh? What exactly was their offense? What exactly did they do? What exactly caused this particular city to be wicked, that God would be so bothered that he would have to find somebody to go to this city and go and preach against it? Can you imagine preaching against the whole city? Bear in mind, there'll be children in that city. There'll be old people in that city. There'll be infirmed people in that city. But now we're going to go and preach against the whole city because of its wickedness. But guess what? They don't tell us what exactly was the wicked thing that they did. Anyways, let's carry on. Verse 3. But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship bound for that port. After paying the fare, he went aboard and sailed for Tarshish to flee from the Lord. Jonah was trying to flee from the Lord. Then the Lord sent a great wind. Listen, okay, guys, if any Christian tells you that you have free will, if they tell you that God allows you to choose, God will never force his will on you, guess what? The story of Jonah is one that completely knocks that theory off its head. This is a case of God violating Jonah's free will. God doesn't care about Jonah's free will. God insists, and God has to ensure that you will do my bidding. Like it or not, you are doing it. You're doing my bidding. No free will, none whatsoever. And so, the Lord sent a great wind on the sea. Can you imagine? So God has a message to deliver to the people of Tarshish. He could easily, if God could cause the storm, if he could cause the great wind on the sea, a violent storm, why not just go there and rectify the evil that they've done and leave Jonah out of it altogether? Okay, there's a lot of problems in this story. Verse 5, all the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own God. I love this. I absolutely love this. I've heard believers saying that when atheists are in a turbulence or plane crash or in emergency, life-threatening, that you will hear them calling God. That there are no atheists in foxholes. There are no atheists in a, a plane that's about to crash. Everyone calls on God. But look at this scripture here. It says, all the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own God. Everyone was crying out to their own God. Can you imagine this? So when they tell you, oh, there are no atheists in foxholes. Oh, atheists, when there's turbulence, that's when atheists remember God. Hello? Which God do we call on? Look at this story. All the sailors were calling all their individual gods. This is so funny. Oh, I love the Bible. The Bible does a great job of destroying itself. The Bible does a fantastic job of destroying itself by itself. You don't have to do a lot of work. Listen, all the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own God. And they threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. Right, okay? What else happens? But Jonah, because he's escaping from God, had gone down below deck, where he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. The captain went to him and said, how can you sleep? Get up and call on your... So, okay. How can you sleep? Get up and call on you. Look, we're doing... right now is emergency. And we're doing many more to all our various gods. You never know. It might be your God that might do the trick and end this whole storm that we're going through. Jonah, come on now. Get up and call on your own. I love this. I absolutely love this. So this goes to show that there are many gods. So this idea of, monotheism, there's only one and only true God. The Bible, it's clear. They're calling on him to go and call on his own God. Everyone has their own personal, their own personal deity that they call on. Everyone has their own personal deity they each call on. Okay, so let's carry on. The captain went to him. How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us so that we will not perish. Maybe he will take notice of us so that we will not perish. Wow, interesting. Okay, number 7. Then the sailors said to each other, come, let us cast lots to find out who is responsible for this calamity. So they assumed that a storm on the seas is caused by someone. So, in essence, every storm that happens on the sea is caused by someone's disobedience. Is that what we are going for? No, I need the Bible people to tell me. Are you telling me, going by this scripture, that every storm that happens on the sea is caused by someone's disobedience? Someone in the ship has disobeyed God, hence why there is a storm. How does this make sense? So they casted the lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. Can you imagine casting lots? What kind of lots would they? Would they do like a mini manimal kind of thing? You know, that sort of thing. I don't know. Anyway, they cast the lots, and it fell on Jonah. So they asked him, "Tell us." Hang on. I hope my mic is not muted. Okay, no, my mic is not muted. Okay, so they call on Jonah. Jonah, come on, tell us, what have you done? So they said, tell us, who is responsible for making all this trouble for us? What kind of work do you do? Where do you come from? What is your country? From what people are you? He answered, I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven. Okay, so Jonah's own God is the God of heaven. So all the other gods the other people were praying to, those ones were not the God of heaven. They were different gods. Okay. So this God made the sea and the dry land. Hence why he can, anytime he wills, he can just disturb the sea when he wants. Verse 10. This terrified them. They were so afraid. And they asked, what have you done? They knew he was running. They knew he was running away from the Lord because he had already told them so. Gosh, this is horrendous. Horrendous writing. I am trying to understand, how did I, as a Christian, once believe these stories? How? When you read this just, it's like child's play. So the sea was getting rougher and rougher. So they asked him, what should we do to you to make the sea calm down for us? He said, pick me up and throw me into the sea, he replied, and it will become calm. I know that it is my fault that this great storm has come upon you. Instead, the men did their best to row back to land, but they could not, for the sea grew even wilder than before. Then they cried out to the Lord, please, Lord, do not let us die for taking this man's life. Do not hold us accountable for killing an innocent man. For you, Lord, have done as you pleased. Oh, God. God just does as he pleases. Just sits up there and just does what he pleases whenever he pleases. Then he took Jonah, verse 15. Verse 15. God took Jonah. And listen. Okay, no, they took Jonah and threw him overboard, and the raging sea grew calm. At this, the men greatly feared the Lord, and they offered a sacrifice to the Lord and made vows to him. So they were impressed. They were impressed that immediately after throwing him into the sea, everything calmed down. Okay? So Jonah's prayer. Now, this is the best part. Jonah's prayer. Verse 17. Now the Lord provided Now the Lord provided a huge fish. The Lord provided a huge fish. When Jesus was on earth and Jesus was trying to feed the 5,000, there was no food. Only a young boy had 2 fishes and 5 loaves. Guess what God did not do? God did not provide a huge fish. But here, God provides a huge fish to swallow Jonah. Wow. Can you imagine that, guys? That when Jesus was here and Jesus was trying to find food to feed the 5,000, there was no food. They had to go and get the food from the young lad that had his own food. But here, God provides a fish. God provides a fish, okay, to swallow Jonah. So anyway, let's pause here and let us go over what we have learned so far, because right now we are deconstructing. I'm hoping that my time here on YouTube, however long I have this channel, I'll be able to deconstruct that book they call the Bible, and hopefully make you understand that that book is as worthless can be. That book, how anybody can look at that and say that is the word of God, it's beggars belief. So we have a duty to deconstruct the very book that we were told to believe in. And the fact that some people will come and say, oh, some things in there are not factual, they're allegory, they're metaphor. But when you ask them, so which one exactly is factual? What is and what isn't? They can't tell you the rest. They can only pick certain ones and tell you, oh, you shouldn't take this literally. You should look for the context behind this story. They just could never seem to give you just the answers that you are looking for. Ask 2 Christians about the same passage in the Bible, and you will get 2 different answers. It's usually never coherent. I've seen Christians can't even agree on their Bible, can't agree on doctrines, can't agree on anything in that book. So why should we take it seriously? So we've learned so far that the people in Nineveh were naked. Were wicked. The people in Nineveh were wicked. The Bible does not tell us what exactly they did to cause this wickedness, that God will have to send Jonah to them to go and stop their wickedness. We're not told what they did. Jonah decides he's not up for it. He would rather go to Tarshish. He gets on a boat, off he goes. But God, because he's God and he can do whatever he likes, whenever he likes, decides to thwart Jonah's free will. So Jonah has no free will in this story. God takes his free will away from him and forces him to do his bidding. Now, we're also told that on the boat, everyone started calling on their own gods. So when anyone tells you that there are no atheists in foxholes, or they say things like, when atheists are in turbulence or they're in a plane about to crash, then they remember God. Which God exactly? When the scripture says everyone was calling on their own God, they had to go and wake Jonah up. Jonah, 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 can you please call on your own separate God? Maybe your God might be the one to answer our prayers. And eventually they find out that it was Jonah that was the cause of the problem. So every storm in the seas, guys, someone in a boat somewhere has disobeyed God. So anytime there's a storm on sea, someone has disobeyed God. And that person needs to be thrown overboard. Anyways, verse 17 now, God now provides a huge fish. Wonderful. And Jonah is in the belly of that fish for 3 days and 3 nights. Wonderful for Jonah. Okay, so chapter 2 now. Gosh, I hope you guys can hear me okay. Please, if you're listening to me and you can hear me, please just give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me okay, so I'm not talking to myself here. Right, so let's go to chapter 2. It gets interesting, guys. It gets interesting. How did we believe these crappy stories? So, chapter 2, from inside the fish. Inside the fish, Jonah prayed to the Lord his God. He said, in my distress, I called to the Lord, and he answered me. From deep in the realm of the dead, I called for help, and you listened to my cry. You hurled me into the depths, into the very heart of the seas, and the currents swelled about me. All your waves and breakers swept over me. I said, I have been banished from your sight. Yet I will look again towards your holy temple. The engulfing waters threatened me. The deep surrounded me. Seaweed was trapped around my neck. Really? Seaweed was wrapped around his neck? When and where? To the roots of the mountains, I sank down. The earth beneath barred me in forever. But you, Lord my God, brought my life up from the pit. When my life was ebbing away, I remembered you, Lord, and my prayer rose to you and your holy temple. Those who cling to worthless idols turn away from God's love for them. But I, with shouts of grateful praise, will sacrifice to you. What are you sacrificing? The rib of the fish? So wait. Jonah in verse 9 says, I will shout grateful praise and will sacrifice to you. What's he sacrificing in the belly of this fish? Oh, well, what I have vowed I will make good. I will say salvation comes from the Lord. And the Lord commanded the fish, and it vomited Jonah onto dry land. So God sat down up there. Guys, just imagine this. Just for a moment. I don't know if some of you ever, as children, you would, imagine things. Even as adults, you go into this beautiful imaginary world where you imagine things that you could not necessarily happen. The things that you wish could happen, you imagine them. Just for 1 second, let's enter that imaginary world. Okay. Let's go in. Hello, Inquisitor Bacon. Hello. Hello, Randolph. Hello, Elle. Hello. Yes. Hello. Elle. Good morning. We're looking at the story of Jonah. For some reason, this is one story that I would link your name, but I can't do characters on my phone. Okay. Oh, Inquisitor Bacon, sorry. Yesterday, that video, when I come back later on, we will look at that video. If you can please send me the link via email, and we will look at that video later on. Okay. Judging by the stories in the Holy Bible, like this one of a person living inside a whale, makes it rather obvious that the people who wrote the Holy Bible didn't understand a lot of things about reality. Absolutely, Randolph. It just doesn't make sense, the stories. And I feel like some of these stories are disrespectful in a way. They assume that people that people are dumb, and people would not poke holes in this story, and people would not. The very same Bible tells you to be like the Berean Christians who go back and cross-check and fact-check everything. But somehow they just come up with stories that just ridiculous. And to think that people use this book as a guide to live life. If you believe that a whale actually swallowed somebody, God provided a fish. When God was supposed to provide a fish in the time of Jesus, when Jesus was trying to feed the 5,000, Jesus had no food to feed them. You would think that at a time like that, God would provide the fish, but no. He only provides it in the time of Jonah. Christopher Bacon, good morning. Yeah, 3 minutes. That's actually a good idea. I imagine if I emailed you to put this video to help better with your stream, not lagging, I can definitely. Okay, fantastic. Please do that. Please do. Okay, the rest of this story. And the Lord commanded the fish, and it vomited Jonah onto dry land. I bet Jonah must have stank to high heavens. Jonah would have come out of that fish stinking. Anyways, it gets better, guys. So chapter 3. Now, this is where this gets disturbing. Because now God has to enforce his will. The people in Nineveh, we are told that they were full of wickedness, but we're not told what exactly did these people do that caused them to be so wicked that God has to stop the free will of Jonah. Unfortunately, I don't care what these people are trying to paint here. This completely paints God as a horrible individual. You cannot allow Jonah to just go his way. Just send somebody else. How about that? Send someone else. The man clearly doesn't want to go. He clearly has gone the opposite direction. Leave him be. No. So then the word of the Lord came to Jonah a second time. Okay, because now listen to this. And this is the whole thing just doesn't make sense. The word of the Lord came to Jonah a second time. Now, guys, you see this here. God had given that message the first time, but Jonah did the opposite. God had to enforce his will and now wipe the slate clean and start over again. Why could God not do the same for Adam and Eve? Why is it okay to do it for Jonah, but not do it for Adam and Eve? Adam and Eve ate the apple. He disobeyed God. Jonah went the opposite direction. He disobeyed God. Adam and Eve were never forgiven. Never forgiven. Till this day, those two have never been forgiven. They never had a second chance to redo the wrong that they did. Not that I believe that story anyway, but according to the Christian theology. But here we see that God now comes a second time with his message to Jonah. This is not a good God, in my opinion. If he has the power to do this, he has the power to stop everything Jonah was trying to do, but could not do the same for Adam and Eve and cause them to at least go and start all over again. Give them the choice to redo the evil they supposedly committed, the evil that would condemn the entire world forever and ever and ever and ever. That people would have to go to heaven. Okay, let me stop. Verse 2, go to the city of Nineveh and proclaim to it the message I give you. Guys, does any of this make sense to you guys? Does any of this make sense to you guys? Is this making sense? So Jonah, verse 3, of course Jonah obeyed. You think he wants to be swallowed by another fish again? Maybe the next time around, the fish would finally just eat him up. I don't believe this story, guys. It's just unbelievable. Jonah obeyed the word of the Lord and went to Nineveh. Now, Nineveh was a large city. It took 3 days to go through it. So let me get this straight. There were no microphones then. There were no loudspeakers and Bluetooth devices and all these things. So God expected Jonah to shout on top, because go through the city and just be a nuisance, to disturb the peace. No wonder we see Christians will be out on the streets, on the street corners, shouting on the top of their lungs, because that's what God wants them to do, to be a nuisance to people. Verse 4, Jonah began by going a day's journey into the city, proclaiming 40 more days and Nineveh will be overthrown. The Ninevites believed. So, okay, after doing all that, then the Ninevites believed God. A fast was proclaimed, and all of them, from the greatest to the least, put on sackcloth. Everyone in the whole city put on sackcloth. When Jonah's warning reached the king of Nineveh, he rose from his throne, took off his royal robes, covered himself with sackcloth, and sat down in the dust. This is the proclamation he issued in Nineveh. By the decree of the king and his nobles, do not let people or animal. Oh my guys, listen to this. And this is where we have a problem. Guys, the animals were made to fast. Inquisitor Bacon and Randolph L in the chat. Animals were made to observe a fast by God, or rather a decree by the king in order to please God. Listen, guys, look, it's there. It says, do not let the people or animals or herds or flocks taste anything. Do not let them eat or drink. Whew, guys, No. Guys, no. I need to hear your thoughts. Animals were put on a fast. Oh my God. This is great. I tell you, the Bible does a wonderful job of destroying itself. No. Now I get it. When people say they read the Bible and they became atheists, how do you put animals on a fast? How do you do this? Guys, look at this, man. I tell you. Hey, Vedic Roots says 1,500 years ago. Vedic Roots, is that the 420? Is that what do you call it? Is that the bud thingy? I don't know what that thing looks like. I have no clue. Everyone was celebrating the 420. Even Randolph had a lovely stream with the what was it? This eight 5 or 6 or 5 80s. Yeah, I watched that. But I don't know anything about weeds and all of that. I really have no clue. So me, I didn't celebrate 420 because I don't do 420. So Coco Jasmine, hello, Coco. I tell you. So wait, Vedic Root says 1,500 years ago, people were so gullible they believed it. I don't understand how they believe it in the 21st century. It's interesting. Vedic Roots. Animals were made to fast. Yes, have your dog or your cat fast with you. Pretty sure you'll wake up to them wondering, what you taste like. Unfortunately, they don't tell us how long they fasted for. I don't think. Coco Jasmine says, that's so stupid. Absolutely stupid. It is stupid. Look at, now we have to put animals on a fast. No, this is, no. It's like every time. What's the commentaries for this verse? Okay, I will have a look. Right. Oh yeah, Randolph, please put the link to that live stream in the chat if people are interested to go and see it. I think it was great. It was not a long live stream, it was about 40-50 minutes. It was nice to see you, Randolph, in a very different you seem so relaxed, just talking about, I know you're not you're not you're not an everyday user of the 420. Well, you know what I mean. But it was nice to just see you relaxed. Just, yeah. So please put that there. The Bible confuses you. I tell you, it says you can't make sense without any. Okay, all right. Let's go and see if there's any commentary, or rather context. Context, guys. They tell you about context. Okay, let's go and see if there's any context to this. Wait, no. Before we go to context, no, Coco Jasmine. Look at this. It says, do not let the people or animals, the herds and the flocks, taste anything. Do not let them eat or drink. Verse 8. But let the people and the animals be covered with sackcloth. We're going to put the sheep in sackcloth. We're going to put the pigs in sackcloth. The lizards, the horses, every one of your animals are going to be wearing sackcloth. And let everyone call urgently on God. Let them give up their evil ways and their violence. Who knows? God may yet relent and with compassion turn from his fierce anger. Fierce anger. So we will not perish. When God saw, okay, let's go and see if there's any notes. Let's see if there's any notes here. So highlight a verse. We need to highlight a verse. Okay, right, let's go and have a look here. Highlight a verse. We need to highlight a verse. Right. Sorry, guys. Let's highlight this verse. Okay. So right. So we'll highlight this. Oh, sugar. Ugh. You need to be logged in to save notes, highlight. I'm not trying to save anything. I just want the notes to the passage. We want notes, not the actual passage itself. No. Okay, that's it right there. Right, let's see if no notes. No. Study. Let's go study. Let's see if there's anything in study. Right. No, it just suggests. Okay. No, there's no. The notes aren't coming up. Okay, what I could do is, so right, just go to another tab and type Job 3 verse 7 to 8, and see if anything comes up. Sorry guys, just 1 second. I'm trying to what? Hang on. Hey David E. Taylor. Guys, this right here now is going to get me. So wait, Job chapter 3, verse 7 to 8. I'm trying to see if there's any notes. Bible Hub. Right. Okay. BibleStudyTools.com. Right. Looks like we found something here. Might have found something. Look. Okay. Okay, guys. We may have found some notes for this. Right. I found something. Okay, here we go. Let me I'm going to share. But before I do that, let me increase this here. Okay. So, right. So, guys, this is what I found for notes on Job chapter 3, verse 7. Right. So, these are the notes. Let there be no company for journeys or doing any business, no meeting of friends, neighbors, or relations on it for refreshment, pleasure, and recreation. After the business of the day is over, as is frequently done, let there be no associations of this kind or any other. In the night, it was usual to have feasts on various accounts, and especially on account of marriage. But now, let there be none. So no marriages, let there be as profound a silence as if all creatures, men and beasts, were dead. Yikes. Let there be as profound a silence as if all creatures, men and beasts, were dead and removed from off the face of the earth, and nothing to be heard and seen on it. Or let it be barren or desolate, interprets and refers to Isaiah 49, verse 21. That is, let no children be born in it. So no occasion for any joy on that account. I don't understand this. Are we reading the same? Is this the same scripture? Wait, hang on. Job chapter 3, verse 7. Right, so let's go. Job chapter 3, verse 8. Hang on. This just looks, is this the same as okay, Job chapter 3, verse 8? What does that say? This just, I don't get it. I just don't. I don't understand this Bible thing now. So what's this one saying? Oh no! Sorry guys. I'm so daft. Jonah, not Job. Oh silly. God. I was thinking, what am I I am so sorry. Guys, why didn't someone say something? Oh God. Oh, sorry guys. I'm thinking this doesn't look like, I can use the same tool. It's terrible. Guys, you let me carry on. I am so daft. Goodness. Ugh. What's this here now? Okay. Right. You just let me carry on. I'm thinking this doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem right at all. What the hell? So let's see if we can change. Let's change this to Jonah. God, I'm thinking, what the hell was that all about? No, okay, you know what? But just start all over again. Sorry, guys, I am so sorry. So Jonah 3, 7, right? Explained. Jonah 3, 7. Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens. We need the notes on Jonah 3. Sorry, guys. The animals fast. Guys, okay, look at this here. Okay, let's see here. Question asked, did the animals fast? The 3 days fast of Nineveh commemorates the 3 days that Prophet Jonah spent inside the belly of the great fish, and the subsequent fast and repentance of the Ninevites at the warning message of Prophet Jonah. Right. Okay, no, that's let's go see. We need notes, proper notes. Meaning and commentary on Bible verse. Okay, let's go and have a look. Here we go. Right, let me look in the chat. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm very stupid. Just sometimes the whale did fast. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's have a look what this says. Right. So, guys, now we've got the right thing. Okay. And he caused it to be proclaimed and published through Nineveh. But a herald or heralds sent into the several parts of the city by the decree of the king and his nobles, with whom he consulted, and whose advice he took, and who were equally concerned at this news, and very probably were present when word was brought to the king concerning it. Right, let's go down. Saying, let neither man nor beast, herd nor flock taste anything. A very strict and general fast this. Abstinence from all food was enjoined. Not only men of every rank and age, but the cattle likewise, the horses and camels. They used either for their pleasure or business, their oxen, their cows, and of their herd, their sheep, their goats, the lambs, and the kids of their flocks. Let them not feed nor drink water. No food, oh God, no food were to be put into their mangers or folds, nor were they to be suffered to graze in the pastures, or to be allowed the least quantity of food or drink. This was ordered. Sorry, guys. This was ordered to make the mourning greater. Thus, Virgil describes the mourning, the death of Caesar, by the oxen not coming to the rivers to drink, nor touching the grass of the field, and to afflict their minds. Fasting was used, so I'm here now. Fasting was used by the heathens as well as the Jews. In some cases, particularly the Egyptians. Okay, that's that verse. Let's go and see the next verse. Oh, that's 3. Okay, let's go and see Jonah 3:8. What does that say? So, guys, you get it. Everyone was asked to fast, including the animals. All right, so this is where they all get to wear sackcloth. So, but let every man and beast be covered with sackcloth, as the king was, and the people also were. And this order enjoined the same to the beasts, the horses, and camels. Those rich trappings were to be taken off, and sackcloth put upon them for the greater solemnity of the mourning, as at this day, at the funerals of great persons, not only the horses which draw the hearse and mourning coaches are covered with black velvet to make the solemnity more awful. We need to make it very awful. But others are led, clothed in like manner, and cry mightily unto God. Guys, you get the gist. You get the gist. You get it. So yes, let's carry on here. I'm nearly done. But okay, verse 9 now says, but who knows, God may yet relent and with compassion turn from his fierce anger so that we may not perish. Verse 10, when God saw what they did and how they turned from their evil ways, he relented and did not bring on them the destruction he had threatened. So guys, there you have it. What a mighty God we serve. Guys, hey, look out for number 1. Reading the middle of the Bible is a waste of time. Only the middle? What about the beginning, the end? Guys. Everyone was asked to fast, including animals. Honestly, guys, to be honest with you, I've never, every time you read the Bible, you always stumble across something new. You see something you have never seen before, even though you've read it. You just don't see it for some reason. I honestly, I don't think I've ever seen that animals were made to fast. God actually sat there and watched these people put animals on hunger strike to prevent to stop them being wicked people. Well, guys, the story has been deconstructed. That story doesn't make sense. And the fact that Jonah did not want to do God's bidding. Jonah says, no, I don't want to do this. I want to go in the opposite direction. I want to go and just let me do me. But God says, no, no, no free will for you, Jonah. Your free will is taken away from you. Madness. Madness of the highest order. Horrible God. Indeed. Indeed. So God wants people and animals to suffer. Coco Jasmine, if the people were wicked, the animals, were they wicked alongside them? What kind of God is this? It says that the people were wicked, not the animals. This is the same thing that happened in the case of Noah. When Noah was building the ark, and they said the people were wicked. The people were sleeping with God's angels, whatever they call those angels that then I forgot the name of what they call those big giants that used to come down and sleep with humans. What's the name of those? I forgot the name of it. The name of the those big angels. Nowhere in that scripture are we told that the animals were sleeping with these angels. But guess what? The animals also paid the price. Something they didn't do. Something they never were involved in. But God has to kill everyone except 2 by 2. And cry out for him. Yes, they have to cry out to God. Did Jesus die for animals too? The fasting is not obligatory anymore, right? They still fast. They still fast, Coco. They still fast, depending on whatever denomination you're a part of. They still do fast. It's okay. It's okay, Inquisitor Bacon. Absolutely. It's okay. So fasting is punishment, whereas it's a worship in Islam. Coco Jasmine, to be honest, I think it's a form of worship. It's a form of cleansing. It's a form of getting yourself in right standing with God. I wouldn't necessarily call it worship. I may be wrong. If there are any Christians who can give you better answers, but I think it's like a cleansing of yourself. Fasting is supposed to benefit you. Fasting is supposed to cleanse the temple, to make you holy, make you more accessible to God, make your prayers easily, to have that one, direction up there. So fasting is really for yourself, not really so much to God. It's yeah, I think so. I think. Hey, Dean, were you here? Dean, were you here? Were you here to see what was happening? Dean, because you just joined us, I need to show you this very quickly. Let me show you what happened in the story of Dean. Let's have a look here, Dean. Have a look here, Dean. Let me show you. So, God sent Jonah to go to Nineveh, but somehow Jonah said no, he'd rather go Tarshish, but God stopped him from going and all these things. Anyways, this is chapter 3, verse 7. This is a proclamation he issued in Nineveh, and by the decree of the king and his nobles. It says, do not let people or animals herds or flocks taste anything, do not let them eat or drink. D. Animals were put on a fast because they did not want God to destroy them. They did not want God to come and visit them with his anger and wrath. Verse 8 says, but let the people and the animals be covered with sackcloth. Everyone, including the animals, everyone had to be covered in sackcloth. So, Dean, now the Bible they're putting animals on fasting. Wow. Okay, guys, that's it. To cleanse from sins that they committed. I don't know what sins. The African Minute has been sent, and I've also got a Reddit comment going about child abuse in the Bible. The guy reworded Proverbs 23:13-15 from strike your kids with a rod to create accountability. They would always, it's just madness. Madness. Seeing animals fasting proves Christianity. Christianity. Oh my. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a short. You know, YouTube allows you to do shorts, or I might put this on my Instagram page. How animals were made to fast. My cat is evil. Dean, what would your cat do if you were to put your cat on a fast? You like to see that? Okay. Does the whale stop? Dean, I know where the whale stops. The whale stops in Rwanda, not in Mallorca. In Rwanda. You want to go to Rwanda? Check your emails. Okay, let me check. Sorry, Dean. The whale goes to maybe not Rwanda. Let me see. Where else? Where else can I think of? Okay, let's see. So let's play this video. 1 second, guys. Download. Just 1 second. I'm going to try and play this video by Inquisitor Bacon. I don't know which one it is. Videos. 1 second, guys. I'm trying to find the video. I've downloaded it to. I can't seem to find it. Can't seem to find it. 1 second. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I think I will do something different now. Let's see here. Horses 2. Okay, let me share. Okay, right. Okay, looks like you can see. Right. Okay. Okay, here we go. So this is from Inquisitor Bacon. Claw bringer. Right. Okay. I think my son would love this. I think my son would love this. I'll send it to him. I think he would love that. So did you make that yourself? Hey Taye, how are you doing, Taye? Taye, please do me a favor and go back, and you need to go and listen to this from the beginning. You would love it. You absolutely love it. Taye, how are you and how's your family? Hope you're all doing well. How's your handsome son? Right. Coco Jasmine says, us will only exotic is will only exotic animals that it mentions. Usually it's sheep, goats, donkeys, cats, and dogs. Don't quite get that question. I do not quite get that question. Also, this was just a short video I made from creating my character for the Tiny Tina's Wonderland playthrough series you're working on. Oh, nice. Very nice. I'll send that to my son. He might be interested. Finally, a Borderlands game to make a custom character. No, if your son gets it and gets the game, it has crossplay, so he and I can. Okay, what console do you need to play this game? What console? Can you play it on every console? Because he's got the Switch, he's got the laptop. What else? Yeah, the Switch, the laptop. So let me know, and I'll send it to him now. Actually, it's just coming in. All right, Tai, it's okay, not to worry. You can go and have a look at the replay. Yes, I made that on Tuesday night. I want to say I started working on the actual playthrough, but that character creation was 15 minutes alone, so we sped it all up. Fantastic! That's just amazing. That's something I couldn't do. Is whale only exotic animal mentioned in the Bible? Coco Jasmine, what are you talking about? You haven't heard about the talking snake? That's very exotic. A snake that talks. That's very exotic, eh? There's so many exotic animals in the Bible. A talking snake. That's the first uh, exotic business going on in the Bible. Whale is kind of exotic. Okay. Crossplay, not crossplay. Sorry. I think it's on all but the Switch right now. Oh, you have it on laptop. I got it on Epic Games, but it should be on Steam soon. Okay. I'll send it to him. It'll make more sense to him. You know what I'm like with games. I'm just crossplay allow players to play together across all the consoles. okay, this is something my son likes doing. He gets on his thing, and I hear him playing with people. I just go in and go and check, make sure that he's, they're being decent and there's no bullying going on, because my son is autistic, but he's very clever, very, very clever. He's what you would call a high functioning autistic lad. So yeah, but he gaming, that's his thing. My older son, he's into gaming as well, but he's got the PS4. Is it PS4? Yeah, the PS4 he's got, and he's got his computer as well. They do all those things, Snake is not exotic. It is part of the Adam and Eve saga. It is exotic. Listen, I get it that snakes may not be exotic, but a talking snake, come on, Coco. Come on. Even you will have to admit that a talking snake is exotic. Come on now. How can you say talking snakes? Hey, Fekinel. Oh, I love me some Fekinel. Hello, Fekinel. Snakes cannot speak. No vocal cords. Go home, Bible. You are... Oh, my. I tell you, snakes that talk, whales that swallow people for 3 days. And by the way, the story says God provided the whale. The story says God provided the whale that swallowed, what's his name now? Jonah. It's God that provided the whale. But guys, God did not provide the talking snake. That one slid its way through by itself. It came sliding. The talking snake slid its way through, snuck through all the barriers and all the, because of course it's got to cause, what's her name? Eve to eat, you see. Can you imagine? Just some nonsense. Trisha Star, hello. Snake is fundamental to the stories in the Bible. Hello, Trisha. Trisha Star. Can you imagine? This is nonsense. It is nonsense. Definitely should be able to play with the PS4 and computer. Okay, I'll send it to them both and see what they say. And if they're interested in playing with you, then I will link up with you via email, and we'll sort that. The Bible. Coco, come on, stop. If the Bible mentions penguins, I will convert. We need to go and check the Bible, because we trust in me. Love that movie. Trust in me. What movie is that? Trust me. Checking out law, and also he's from Robin Hood. Hello, the whole world is carried by a whale in Islam. What? What? Coco, what are you talking about? The whole world is carried by a whale in Islam. No, what's Coco on about? I don't understand this one now. What is going on here? Wait, a whale. Oh my. Oh, these books make you dumber, or these books just dumb you down. How is the whale? Coco, please, we need reference. We need reference here. This is definitely by the creation of the universe. Then it is definitely by the creation of the universe. Oh, Jungle Book. Okay. All right. I want to see the Bible talk about tardigrades. Oh, God. Come on. You guys, you expect too much from the Bible. You expect too much from that book. Come on, guys. Jungle Book with the singing snake. The singing snake. Wait, before I go, I need to understand what this is about. I need to know what this is about. What does this mean? Is the Bible trying to... No, sorry, not the Bible. what do you call this book now? The other one, the other book instead of the Bible. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Please tell us, what is this? Coco, I'm waiting for you. Right, my phone. Okay. Dean has just sent me something. I need to send it to my let me just, guys, we'll probably end on this. Dean has just sent me something on WhatsApp. Let's have a look at what this is. Gosh, these books dumb, they just dumb and dumber. I don't know which is dumber. I don't know which one. So Dean just sent me this. Let's have a look at what this is. Okay, guys, just brace yourselves. I'm going to share my screen here. Dean just sent this to me. Quack says what? Quack. Reference Surah 68:1. Okay, after this video, we'll go and look at what Surah 68. Surah 68:1 says. Okay, so let's do the video first, and we'll go and look at what Surah 68:1 says. Okay. Right, so Dean just sent me this. Let's have a look. And Dean says, if you think the Bible is crazy, Islam says, hold me beer. Just hold my beer. Let's have a look.
Talking hands, talking feet, ears that talk too. Talking flesh and eyes bear witness against you. Dissected birds fly home to Abraham. It's all written here in the noble Quran. The earth existed before there were stars. The moon emits light and was split into parts. Elephants turned into chewed grass by stones dropped from birds. These are a few of Quran's perfect words. Millennia-old men at the time of the flood. Your body was fashioned from one clot of blood. No evolution, but men turned to apes. In the Quran you will find no mistakes. When you tell me Allah will burn me, and it makes me sad, I simply remember these ludicrous things, and then I don't feel so bad. Viruses made just for our delectation. From smoke the earth volunteered its own formation. Worms in communities milk from cows' bellies. Quranic facts with which science agrees. The Quran, it is perfect, Allah never fibs. Semen comes from between backbone and ribs.
What?
The night is a veil casting darkness beneath, and the dead can be raised up with slices of beef.
What?
Simple instructions to follow until each relative knows who will get what in a will. The moon follows the sun, which then sets in the mud. The earth is spread flat and stars fall as they should. When you tell me Allah will burn me, and it makes me sad,
I simply remember these ludicrous things, and then I don't feel so bad.
When you tell me Allah will burn me, and it makes me sad, I simply remember such ludicrous things as the Quran is easy to understand.
Wow, that was great. Thank you. Honestly, thank you for sending me that. I absolutely enjoyed that. And I think we should have that as maybe not an intro, but an outro at some point. Oh, I absolutely loved that. Okay, Taxfia. What's a Taxfia? Ibn Abbas. Oh, okay, hang on. So is it the Quran 68:1 or Taxfia with what's it? Hang on. Let's see. Is it Quran? Reference Surah 68:1. Okay, let's go look. Surah 68:1. Surah 68. And I don't understand most of this. I honestly do not understand. Read the full surah. Continue. I don't understand. Okay, I don't know. This is okay. Um, towards okay. Let's have a look here. Um, this is hard. Um, Goodness gracious, how are we supposed to read this? What? Okay. Uh, is it the surah or the other one? Let's see. What's the other one? It's been. I don't understand that. It's fun. Islamic whale. Okay, let me type the Islamic whale. All right, then let's type the Islamic whale. Islamic whale. My goodness, it's a Christian whale and the Islamic whale. Mm-mm-mm. The Islamic whale. Oh gosh, Reddit here says the Islamic whale debunked. Oh God, here we go. Oh gosh. The non-whale. What's that? The non-whale. Let's have a quick look at this now. Okay, guys, I'll soon be out of here, but let's have a quick look at this here. Share. Let me share my screen. Right. Narrated by Ibn Asba. I couldn't say these words. The first thing that Allah created was the pen. What? Wait, I need to make this bigger so you guys can see what I'm looking at. The first thing Allah created was the pen. He said to it to write, and it said, "What shall I write?" Let me read that again. The first thing that Allah created was the pen. Pen as in this here. Wait. That's the first thing Allah created. And he said to the pen, write. And the pen said, what shall I write? And he said, the divine decree. And it wrote all that shall be from that day until the onset of the hour. And his throne was upon the water. The water vapor rose, and the heavens split off from it. Wait, hang on. He then created the whale. Allah created the whale, the nun, and spread the earth over it. So he created the whale, and spread the earth over the whale. The earth is on the back of a whale. And when the whale stirred, the earth shook. It was steadied by the mountains. Guys, no, my brain cannot take no more of this. What? Is this the science they say is in the Quran? Wait, let me read that again. I need to read this again because I'm going to go and my head is just not going to be able to grasp this. Let's see. It says, the first thing Allah created was the pen. He said to it, write. And he said, what shall I write? He said, the divine decree. And it wrote all that shall be from that day until the onset of the hour. And his throne was upon the water. So Allah's throne was on the water. The water vapor rose, and the heavens split off from it. The water vapor rose, and the heavens split. He then created the whale, the nun, and he created the whale and spread the earth over it. Wait, he spread the earth over the whale. The earth is on the back of a whale. The earth is on the back of a whale. And when the whale stirred, the earth shook. It was steadied by the mountains. Guys, I don't understand. I don't understand this. I do not understand it. It says what? There's even heavenly copy of Quran. Where? In heaven. Yes, some sort of pen to write. That's the first thing God created. He created a pen. Guys, at this point, it's time to brain goes into this is going to make people dumb. How do people read this and believe the content of these things? Well, guys, I'll see you all later. In the meantime, I'm going to end this live stream. Let's listen to that music again. Oh my God. My. All right, guys, I'll see you all later. Whew. Wow.
Talking hands, talking feet, ears that talk too. Talking flesh and eyes bear witness against you. Dissected birds fly home to Abraham. It's all written here in the noble Quran. The earth existed before there were stars. The moon emits light and was split into parts. Elephants turned into chewed grass by stones dropped from birds. These are the few of Quran's perfect words. Millennia-old men at the time of the flood. Your body was fashioned from one clot of blood. No evolution but moon turned to apes. In the Quran you will find no mistakes. When you tell me, Allah will burn me, and it makes me sad. I simply remember these ludicrous things, and then I don't feel so bad. Viruses made just for our delectation. From smoke the earth volunteered its own formation. Worms in communities, milk from cows' bellies, Quranic facts with which science agrees. The Quran is perfect, Allah never fibs. Semen comes from between backbone and ribs. The night is a veil casting darkness beneath, and the dead can be raised up with slices of beef. Simple instructions to follow until each relative knows who will get what in a wheel. The moon follows the sun, which then sets in the mud. The earth is spread flat and stars fall as they should. When you tell me Allah will burn me, and it makes me sad, I simply remember these ludicrous things, and then I don't feel so bad. When you tell me Allah will burn me, and it makes me sad, I simply remember such ludicrous things as the Quran is easy to understand.